Basilan against the Abu Sayyaf is apparently being bogged down by infighting among Marine officers. The Marine commander sacked last week now wants his superior officers investigated for a botched operation that left 15 Marines dead. Gian Pineda has that story.
The Marines lost 15 men in a controversial assault on an Abu Sayyaf camp in Basilan last August 19. From all appearances, the battle that started that day is far from over. ABC News learned that the former commander of the Marine Brigade in Basilan has asked the Navy to investigate his superiors who directed the assault. Colonel Ramiro Alivio had been relieved of his command of the 1st Marine Brigade because of the August 18 debacle. But ABC learned that Alivio had written Navy Chief Vice Admiral Rogelio Calonsag asking him to investigate charges of what he called a total disregard of safety by some officials in sending a few Marines against a well-armed and entrenched foe. In his letter, Alivio claimed that he was overruled by his superiors, who then imposed last-minute changes on the attack plan. The changes include the use of a smaller but more mobile force reconnaissance units to attack the fortified camp. The Marine operations in Basilan had been placed under Joint Task Force Thunder, headed by Marine Brigadier General Juancho Saban. Alivio implied that he was not consulted on the change of plans, even though he was still the brigade commander. He was, however, blamed for the resulting debacle and relieved of his command. Alivio refused to comment on the reported letters, saying he was still subjected to a gag order. However, emails are already circulating among the alumni of the Philippine Military Academy criticizing the August 18 Marine operation against the Abu Sayyaf in Basilan. The email, authored by a member of the PMA Class 66, said the loss of 15 Marines, including 5 officers, was not worth the gain of overrunning a small Abu Sayyaf camp. Gian Pineda, ABC News.
Less than 2 weeks before the Estrada promulgation, a lawyer has come out saying the former president does not deserve conviction. But even Erap's camp refused to buy his story. Sherian Torres tells us why.
Attorney Cirilo Avila wants the Sandigan Bayan to hear him first before coming out with its verdict on the plunder case against deposed President Joseph Estrada. Avila claims he has new evidence based on the book The Dark Consiparcy written by his client, a certain Federico Manrique of the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption.
I find it in my capacity as a lawyer, as an officer of the court, who came across certain information, some truths which I believe, as a lawyer and as an officer of the court, should be known to the Sandigan Bayan.
Quoting Manrique's book, Avila claims his client was convinced by a lawyer from the office of then Ombudsman Añano Desierto to file a perjury complaint against Erap shortly after the EDSA II revolt in 2001. Fake documents presented to the court were allegedly checked and corrected by Attorney Persida Rueda Acosta of the Public Attorney's Office. Manrique and his family moved to Canada in 2003, allegedly after a meeting with President Arroyo. The book also mentioned VACC Chairman Dante Jimenez and a number of former palace officials and personalities close to President Arroyo, as among those who supported Manrique's needs while in Canada. Now that Manrique's book has come out, Avila says his client has started receiving death threats.
Mr. Manrique was at that time a member of the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption. He was the action officer for the Office of the Ombudsman. So siya ang nilapitan dito by the Office of the Ombudsman to request to fabricate using his words and documents. There was even instances when he was asked to antedate a request.
Avila admits contacting the Estrada camp, but even Erap's lawyers refused to buy his story. Suspended lawyer Alan Padilla says he was among those who advised Estrada not to entertain Avila's motion.
It's wrong. There's no such thing as manifestation intervention. Secondly, this fellow is not a party to this case. Thirdly, he is not also a lawyer of any of the parties. So, under what provision of the rules of court are you filing this?
Padilla also strongly denies Avila's association with Estrada. He says Erap would rather just wait for the Sandigan Bayan's verdict. Sherian Torres, ABC News.
The House opposition calls the 2008 proposed budget inappropriate and deceiving, with almost half of it allocated to debt payments. Even the anomalous broadband deal is not without scrutiny. Naomi Leris has that report.
Lawmakers are questioning the huge allocation on debt servicing in the 2008 budget. It accounts for 624 billion pesos, or more than 50% of the 1.2 trillion peso proposed budget. They say this runs counter to government's pronouncements of a balanced budget for next year.
This is not to say that they will be all repudiated. This is only to say that we should now examine what they were contracted for and what, if any, are the measures that we propose to undertake to reduce the payment of these debts.
Our focus in the economic team is to work on existing debts that we consider legally binding, morally defensible, and have done or provided benefits to our country. We would like to see an enumeration of the so-called useless debt.
The opposition bloc also brought up the controversial national broadband deal with CTE Corporation. Minority Leader Ronaldo Zamora questioned the reported $1.8 billion loan the government forged with China, despite earlier statements that there will be no foreign borrowings in 2008. Reports say the loan will be used to pay for projects that include the NBN deal.
That includes ZTE, more than $330 million. Cyber education, more than $400 million. Plus unspecified loans that were supposed to have been signed in BOA, aside from the other contracts. How do we pay for that, Mr. Secretary?
First of all, as regards the 2008 budget, Mr. Chairman, neither the ZTE is contained in the 2008 budget presentation.
ZTE is not yet an incurred obligation. It is not a perfect contract. So this has to go through a number of process and procedures.
But opposition lawmakers are not satisfied with the explanation. The minority bloc has set a question hour for government officials involved in the deal, including Trade Secretary Peter Fabula and Transportation Secretary Leandro Mendoza.
Ano ba talaga itong ZTE, kung kontrata na nga ba ito, ano ang source ng funding nito, at kung anong klaseng kontrata ito.
At the upper chamber, Senator Aquilino Pimentel called for the resignation of COMELEC Chairman Benjamin Abalos, who was implicated in the deal by Congressman Carlos Padilla.
Siya maghintay na i-impeach siya o ano pa ang mga hakbang sa batas na kunin laban sa kanya kasi kaya naman niyang magbitiw na lang ng katungkulan.
The call was echoed by activists who rallied outside the COMELEC office this morning. Naomi Daly, ABC News.
The results of the National Achievement Test show students from provinces outdoing kids from the cities and girls outsmarting boys. 62% of grade 6 female students passed the NAT compared to 60% male examinees. Those from rural areas also fared slightly better than students from urban areas, with a 61% passing rate compared to 59%. DepEd says this is because teachers from the provinces have lesser financial woes and have fewer students in each class. Generally, grade 6 pupils performed better this year in all areas, with 6 out of 10 examinees passing. Students who failed could still go to high school but have to undergo intervention programs or tutorial sessions.
The main problem in the urban areas is really the large class size, meaning we have 80 of around 100, only one teacher, and a shorter period of time. Like we have only, here in the city of Manila, you have 3 shifts, meaning for the whole day there are 3 classes being held. But in the urban and rural areas, you have fewer students. You have 30, 45, plus they go to school as early as 7:30 up to 4:30, so longer exposure time.
Overseas, British troops